In today's video, we're going to take a look at Scottie Barnes and his amazing rookie year. Some of the things that he did extremely well that you can also do yourself extremely well too. Let's get down. Let's check out Scottie Barnes. Okay, so really quickly on this fast break, he takes a quick glance over towards this side. There's a reason, because Kevin Porter Jr. is looking to this side. This will make Kevin Porter turn around quickly so that Scottie Barnes can get that pass over to Gary Trent Jr. That's exactly what happened. We've seen Porter move over towards this right side because Scottie Barnes is looking to that right side, which allowed that lane to be open for Delano Banton. I thought it was Gary Trent Jr. earlier on. I think the hair messed me up. As we can see here as well, Scottie Barnes goes extremely wide on the fast break. This is exactly what you want to do. Landing on 2 feet before going up as well was a very good strategy. When you're running a fast break, you want to use all 3 lanes. There's the middle lane, the left and right lane. If you use all 3 of these lanes, especially when it comes down to a 2-on-1 situation, you can spread that defense out, and in this case, 2-on-1, that forces that man to guard you. And if you're Scottie Barnes, that will allow you to have an open lane once this defender commits to that ball handler. That pass goes through, Scottie Barnes catches it, lands on 2 feet instead of going for an alley-oop. He could have easily went for that alley-oop, but he had a player who was closing out on him. He wanted to land and go up with 2 feet because that will allow him to get more power and stability going up. He also got the and one there as well. When you're going for the rebound, here we see Scottie Barnes. He's being boxed out really well. However, he gets his hand on the ball just enough to poke it through or away so that he can get it back and, of course, posterize the defense. So even though you're getting boxed out, just try to get a hand on it. Try to poke it free, and you just might get lucky enough to get that ball back so that you can go for the dunk. Now, in this next play, we're going to be looking right here. And what happens here is extremely amazing. He's able to read where that ball goes, and he's able to get that steal and, of course, finish with the dunk. So what happens here? Right now he's in deny, and of course that far side hand is up, which means that there's going to be a lob pass over to that side. That lob pass went way too high, and because it went way too high, Scottie Barnes was able to read it. He stopped where he was going, and he tried to fight to get behind that player that ball was going to. You have to play physical in basketball. This is not a weak sport. And because he was able to get positioned behind Vucevic, he was then able to get that steal from that terrible lob pass and of course go in for the dunk. Never throw lob passes. A lob pass is okay, but this went way too high. That lob pass should have went that high, not this high. Using fake dribble handoffs are also important, but using your size and ability to get to the rim will help you too. What he does here is he's using his off arm to try to gain the advantage. The referees usually do not see that. At that point, you're trying to get your left shoulder in front of the defender's right shoulder. That gives you the lane to the basket. When he does that, he's able to slightly push off with his shoulder, again, not extending his shoulder past where his foot is so that the ref doesn't call an offensive foul, and then he's able to get that push off, goes up with his elbow first to clear out space, and then goes up with one hand for a massive posterization dunk. Now watch what Scottie Barnes does here on this back screen. He does a quick hop in this direction. He hops off of his right foot. That is going to make that defender think that he's going to cut through that side, but instead he's actually loading that foot so that he can cut back door. That's what he's doing right here. He's able to get into position, he's able to get that ball, and once he gets that ball, he's got 3 players around him. There's a lot of players around him. What's he do? He goes up with 2 hands, elbow first. That's extremely important. You always want to lead with your elbow to clear out arms or faces, and that will allow you to get that ball into the basket because you're going up with 2 hands, but also get potentially a foul call for you. Playing strong side help defense is always something that is very risky, but if you've got a player who's driving down and you just have to take a half a step really, or just a pivot really, to try to get your hands on that ball, 100% go for it. You're still close enough to recover at that point. So if you are there, you can take 1 step in. That's not going to really hurt anything. You can still recover to your man. Get that steal, rip it, and go. You have to be strong. If you've got 2 hands hands on that ball, you need to rip it. Right what he does there, that is literally ripping it right out of Kevin Durant's hands, and then he's able to go the other direction. Nobody's going to stop him, and he goes for the reverse. Having good footwork helps you as well. Here, he does a quick half spin or half reverse fake, spin, whatever you want to call it. There's so many different names. I call it a reverse spin fake. And of course, he's able to go up with the baby hook off glass. Again, knowing how to use the glass is important, but also having the footwork to be able to do this also is very important too. Now, this is something that a lot of coaches may say not to do, but these quick tips that you can make, here you got the and one, is very important. You need to be able to do this because I'm going to tell you right now, being in this position, you've got a very good defensive player right here, another player here who could go in and try to reach in, and of course the player behind Scottie Barnes. If he was to land and try to go back up, he would have got swatted, or he would have at least got the ball stolen. Having that ball go off that rim and doing a quick tip back in is going to really help expand your game. I hope that this video helps you become a better basketball player. If it does, hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.